Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to install a filter onto a fuel transfer tank. The first thing you want to look at is the outlet on your pump. In my case, it's 3/4 inch NPT. It's usually 3/4 inch or 1 inch NPT. Next thing you want to look at is where you're going to come out of your pump so that you know what fittings you need. You also, when you figure out what filter you need, because there are different sizes and orientations, you want to make sure you have enough clearance, so you need to factor that in when you're purchasing your fittings. For this pump and situation, I'm going to take this cap off and put it here and come out of here with my filter, and ideally angle it this way and have my nozzle and hose coming out this way so that I can turn it straight toward my equipment and stand on this side and fill it, because this is a manual pump. Got everything ordered, just came in. For the fittings, I went with stainless. This is the elbow that I'm going to use. It's going to come out of the top of the pump. Went with a 2-inch nipple. It's going to thread into the elbow and then give me the connection that I need to thread into my filter. For the filter, you can see that I chose the Goldenrod brand. The reason I chose this is because I have the identical filter, and it's been sitting outside now for close to 10 years in direct sunlight and in all weather conditions. The only issue I've had with it is it's faded a bit. It's never leaked. I've never broken the bowl changing the filter. No problems whatsoever. I tried a half-price counterpart about 2 years ago, and it didn't last maybe a year and a half. I know it didn't last the full 2 years. I had problems with it leaking from the get-go. The threads weren't machined correctly. I had to rethread those to get those to stop leaking, and the bowl cracked when I tried to change the filter for the second time. So I don't recommend those. Yes, you're going to pay a little bit more, but it's definitely worth it. I will mention that you can get the canister style filters. I just like this particular one because you can see if there's any sediment inside of it, and there's a drain valve on the bottom that you can drain it out. The canister style filters are cheaper. This is the preference for me. I will note that this one does take up a little bit more space, so that might be something you have to look into getting, the canister style, if your space is limited. As far as things you need to install this, you're going to need an adjustable wrench, or a wrench if you have the correct size. This looks like an adjustable wrench, and it is an adjustable wrench, but you can rotate the jaw, and it's also a pipe wrench. So you're going to need a pipe wrench if you don't have something like this to thread these pipe fittings in. You're also going to need some thread sealant. I like to use soft set thread sealant because if you ever have to take anything apart, it makes it a lot easier. This particular brand is Gasoila, however you pronounce it. It works great with everything I'm going to be assembling in my shop, such as gasoline, diesel, kerosene, hydraulic fluid. There are a lot of other things that work with. That's something you can check into because it's nice to have in the shop on hand. You can see that I've added this canister wrench. You don't necessarily need this because you can use your hands, you can use a wrench with a glove. I recommend that you have this if you have this because it has grooves that perfectly match this, and you can lock this on there. It's just easier when it comes time to change this filter out. You don't have to worry about scratching and marring anything up. You don't have to worry about cracking it. It works great with it, and it doesn't cost that much. And like I said, I've had this one for close to 10 years, maybe a little longer, and it's still here with me. I'm sure it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it. When dealing with fuel, filters, changing fittings out, you want to make sure you have a pretty clean work area. This doesn't look clean, but I wiped everything off that I could, blew everything off that I could, and made sure everything was as clean as I could get it before I started disassembling things. First thing we're going to need to do is remove this plug. Then I'm going to remove this hose. I'm going to put the plug that I removed in the spot where the hose was. Before we proceed to the next step, if you're anything like me, I would recommend to always carry paper towels with you. Keep them in your back pocket everywhere you go, especially if you're messing with grease. We're not messing with grease in this particular situation, but somehow I have it all over me, and I don't know what I did to get it. And I also have this stuff all over me, and diesel fluid on my socks. I'm in a mess. I don't know how any of this happened, but it has. Next step is to get the nipple installed. I got the filter out of the box. I got the nipple installed. What you need to do now is unscrew this portion. I'll go ahead and do it so you can see what's going on here. There's a little seal O-ring right there. It can fall out, so don't let it fall on the nasty floor. Prop it up here so it's not touching anything. Then you want to remove this filter, and I almost dropped it in some nasty stuff. Don't do that. What you're going to need to do now is that says out and that says in. You're going to want to mount your in on the nipple that you just installed, and out is going to be connected to your nozzle. Keep that in mind. Pay attention to this, because the way this thing's designed, it won't filter correctly if you don't install it correctly. Top cap's installed. We're now ready to put the filter and the filter bowl in place. I do want to mention, if you can't get this tightened up by hand, you can get your adjustable wrench right here and assist you in taking it the rest of the way and getting it level. I have OCD, so everything's got to be perfectly level. If you haven't noticed that by now. Another thing I want to mention is hopefully you have an air hose, because there's a lot of junk that comes in these, like cardboard, paper, you know, just from shipping. It's completely normal. I get an air hose and blow this out. You get a napkin, wipe it out real good, get it dry, and then blow it out again. And do the same for this, because there was a lot of trash on the bottom of this filter. I'm gonna screw this on, screw this bowl on, then we're ready to get our hose installed. You don't need the wrench when you're installing this. The seal comes with a little bit of grease on it, and that allows you to get it tighter than what you normally would if it was dry. I really only use the wrench when I'm disassembling it, because over time that seal will dry out and make it more difficult to take off, and it will keep you from breaking the bowl. Also, this has a drain on the bottom, and right opens it, clockwise opens it. In your brain, I know it's backwards because right is tight, left is loose, but in this case, clockwise loosens it and allows you to drain the trash out of it, and counterclockwise tightens it. Don't know if you can see that going down, back up. Now that everything's assembled, we're ready to check for leaks. Since this is a new install, we don't want to directly pump fuel from the new system into equipment or vehicle or whatever it is we're trying to fill up. What I like to do is get a coffee filter and put it in a funnel and run the fuel through that coffee filter, because it's about 20 micron. I like to do that for at least a couple of gallons just to make 100% sure we've got everything clean. What I'm doing is just pumping it back into the tank that the fuel came from. And the thought is the coffee filter is going to catch the debris, and then by the time we get to filling our vehicle up and enough fuel's passed through, that the filter itself will capture any more debris. I'm glad I'm able to edit this, because I forgot to close the valve on the bottom of the filter cover, and fuel was going everywhere when I started pumping, so there was a heck of a leak right there, but that was my own ignorance. Let's give this another shot. So I continued on for a couple of gallons. I stopped the video because you guys don't want to sit there and watch that, but I did capture a piece of metal. Put my hand in front of it, maybe you can see the shine off of it, and there's a little black piece to the left of it, and there were a lot of little black speckles floating around in the diesel fluid. So this goes to show you, I mean, a brand new system, you can get a bunch of junk in your equipment. If I were to just directly start pumping this into my tractor or truck or whatever it is, yeah, your vehicle filters or equipment filters will catch it, but it's better to just not put it in there to begin with. I'll show you a clip of what you can see when you're actually pumping the fluid. It's pretty cool getting to watch it and verifying that everything's good and clean. Alright guys, that's how you install a filter on a fuel transfer tank. Everything went smooth and as planned, except for me not closing that valve, but that was my own ignorance. I'm happy with the way everything turned out. Now that I know the fuel's clean, I know that the fuel that's been through the new system's clean, I'm ready to use it for my equipment and vehicles, etc. I hope you guys got something from the video. If you have any questions, comment. I'll get back to you in a day or two. Like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.